Yeah, very excited to get going for Birmingham Phoenix in what will be a equally exciting tournament in the 100. Um, Obviously, we're going to have some of the best players in the world coming over to play in this tournament, so it's a great opportunity for myself and other domestic players to test ourselves on an even higher level, I suppose, and look to improve as much as we can and learn off these guys who are going to be on our team as well. It's a great opportunity for me to learn off any overseas players we get, and obviously having Chris Wokes here as well is going to be great for me to pick his brains and hopefully learn a bit off him, and maybe he could learn a little bit off me, maybe not.
I've already spoken to Chris. He bowls deaf overs, as do you, and he said you can take the pressure off him. So are you eyeing up those deaf bowler spots?
Yeah, but if he wants them, he can have them. I'm not going to fight him for it. Yeah, it's obviously good to have him as well bowling deaf, and probably someone who goes about it a bit differently. So, like I say, if I can learn a little bit from him about how he executes his Yorkers, which is what he mainly goes to, and his kind of thought processes around bowling the death overs, that can only improve me as a player. And hopefully, if he wants to maybe learn a bit about how I go about it, then it'd be great for us to both learn off each other, and I'm really looking forward to it.
There's another familiar face in the change room, Moeen Ali. You've played with him for a long time. How important will it be to have him at Birmingham Phoenix?
Yeah, very important. Not only as a player, he's obviously as a player he speaks for himself. He's an incredible batter, very destructive, and his bowling is just as equally as good in 2020 cricket, or 100 ball cricket, I suppose. But also his demeanour and his manner, he's such a calming influence on the team, and having him, from playing at Worcester with him, having him really does calm the team down and give us a lot of confidence. So I'm sure it'll be no different here.
Two big names as well. Obviously the 100 is going to bring lots of big crowd, lots of diverse crowds. How helpful is it to have two big England players, two World Cup winners, being able to play at Edgbaston alongside yourself?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of pinched myself a bit to be in the same category as them in terms of being the first picks here. So, like you say, it's going to be brilliant for the crowds that we get here. We get good crowds here anyway at Edgbaston. Just from playing here myself for Worcester, it's one of the best places we come in terms of the crowd and how involved they get. It's a really exciting place to play, and having them two playing with us here as well is only going to add to that.
Must be a special place for you. Obviously this year a little bit disappointing, but the year before you were champions. You've got happy memories here. Obviously that can only help you when you're bowling in under pressure. You can kind of go back to that moment when you won it and think, I've done it already here on this stage.
Yeah, definitely. It's them little things in cricket and sport that make a difference. And like you say, I've had success here in the past with Worcester on finals day and in games against the Bears. So yeah, to know that I've performed here at this stadium in front of big crowds does kind of put you at ease, and like you say, in them tough times you can kind of remind yourself that I've done it here before and there's no reason I can't do it again.
It's draft day on Sunday. Will you be keeping a close eye on your future teammates?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really interesting to see how teams go about their draft selections, and obviously playing here now, it's going to be something I've watched closely and see how we go about building our team and who we prioritise in the draft and that sort of thing, what kind of players we're looking for. So it's going to be really exciting, and it's really exciting for all the lads at the counties as well. It's be nice to see where some of the Worcester boys get to. So I'll be keeping an eye on a few of them as well.
Yeah, there must be a real buzz around the county circuit about this tournament. Not only do they get more exposure, there's more money, more opportunity. As a player, that must only be a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, aside from the money and all the exposure, what I mentioned before about playing with some top players in world cricket, it's really going to benefit us as players, and hopefully it's going to benefit England cricket in the long run if our domestic players are playing against these blokes on a regular basis and learning off them as well. It can only help.
Andrew McDonald's sadly in Australia, but have you spoken to him since you've been announced as an icon player? If so, what has he said to you?
Yeah, we had a good chat when he came over before it all got announced, and yeah, he's a lovely bloke and got a great sense of humour as well. So looking forward to getting going with Andrew. He sent me a nice message afterwards after it got finalised, and yeah, it's going to be good to get going. He's obviously a coach with a lot of pedigree and had a lot of success around the leagues, so it'll be really good to see how he goes about it from a head coach's point of view, and obviously learn off him as well. He's worked with some of the best players in the world, so there's no reason why he can't help me improve as a player as well as the other players we play with can.
You mentioned his achievements. He is a big winner in Australia, and this tournament's all about winning, and you want Birmingham Phoenix to win. So how important is it to have him, knowing in the changing room that there's a big winner there that you can kind of feed off?
Exactly, yeah. It's really important to know that people in your camp have been there and done it, and like I say, we've got that with Andrew McDonald. He's done it all around the world and won tournaments, and you mentioned earlier Mo and Chris Wokes won the World Cup this year. So to have them winners in your change room, it really makes a difference in terms of your team's mentality, and in them tight pressure games where you know you've got blokes who are going to stand up and make sure we win a game. It really does make a difference. So hopefully that can help us.